what is ergonomic? Ergonomic is the art of science of design, the work of the field worker to achieve the optimum productivity and cost efficiency, a minimum risk of injury.
So, what is Ergonomic Management Program? An ergonomic management program provides a systematic approach for the organization to manage ergonomic hazards and issues in the workplace. In other words, it's a systematic process for identifying, analyzing, and controlling workplace risk factors, often for reducing musculoskeletal disorders. With the right assessment, training, and management support, you can proactively identify and eliminate ergonomic issues before they result in debilitating injury.
Okay, I will talk about the element of ergonomic program. They have 7 steps of element. The first step is identify the risk factor. The second step is the involve and training management and workers. The third step is the labor and management accountability. The fourth step is implement ergonomic program. The fifth step is evaluate your ergonomic program. The sixth step is the promote workers' recovery through healthcare management and the return to work. And the last step is maintain the management community and the employment involvement. Okay, I will talk about the first step, identify the risk factor. For your information, you can use the screening for the risk factor. The screening job for the physical and psychological risk factor is both active and should involve one or more of the following. Work through the observational survey for the worker facility to detect the obvious risk factor. The second is the interview with the worker and the supervisor to obtain the above information and the other data. The third is the checklist for the scoring job focused against the list of the risk factor. Okay, to identify the risk factor, the first thing we need to identify the physical risk factor. There are some of the to identify the risk factor, and it is a awkward posture, forceful extraction including the lifting, pushing, and pulling, and effective motion, duration, frequency, contact stress, and vibration. One of the important things to identify the risk factor is the psychosocial risk factor. For example of psychosocial risk factor is lack of time, unreasonable workload, long work shift, micromanagement, poor communication, and poor relationship. Next, the important thing in identify the risk factor is using the checklist. The checklist procedure provide the most formal and the orderly produce of screening job. For example, the assessment to identify to determine if something is present. Next, the analysis. It takes a part to determine what it look like and how it work. Next, the evaluation, judge it against the best, and using the checklist below, we can identify the general risk factor associated with the job you currently perform. And next, the last important things to identify the risk factor is the medical management. Okay, the next step is the step 2. It is the involve and the train management and the workers. There are some type of training, and the first type is the ergonomic awareness training. It should be provided to the most employees. The objective from the ergonomic awareness training, first thing we can learn how to recognize the risk factor. Second thing, learn how to recognize the symptom of the work musculoskeletal disorder. And the next type of the training, we can train in the job analysis and control measure. It's a command of the ergonomic team member. The objective from it, we can learn how to conduct the job analysis. Next, we can learn how to implement and evaluate the control measure. The third type of the training is the training in the problem solving. It required for the working in the hazard control problem and solving group. The objective we can get to develop skill and the team building. And next we can learn how to synthesize ideas from employers. Okay, next I will talk about the objective of the ergonomic education and training. The first thing we can recognize the factor of the workplace is for the musculoskeletal disorder. The next we can get the understand the general method for controlling the musculoskeletal disorder. Then we can also identify the sign and the symptom of the musculoskeletal disorder that may result the exposure to the such risk factors. Therefore, we can be familiar with the companies, the healthcare procedures, nor the process to address the control risk factor. Step 3, it is a labor and the management accountability. It is an effective ergonomic program depend on the accountability just like any program. Look the 6 basic elements of an effective accountability system. Okay, they have 6 elements.
I will continue to the element number 4. Step 4 is employment involvement. Promoting employment involvement in efforts to improve workplace ergonomic conditions has several benefits. They include enhanced worker motivation and job satisfaction, added problem-solving capabilities, greater acceptance of change, and greater knowledge of the work and organization. Who should participate in the ergonomic management program? Ergonomic problems typically require a response that cuts across a number of organizational units. Hazard identification through job analysis and review of injury records or symptoms surveys, as well as the development and implementation of control measures can require input from safety and hygiene personnel, healthcare providers, human resources personnel, engineering personnel, maintenance personnel, and academic specialists. For the next step is step 5. It is implement ergonomic program. To implement an ergonomic program is begin by targeting easy to implement solutions that you identified in your earlier analysis. The hierarchy of controls also includes substitution, elimination, engineering control, administrative, and personnel protective equipment. In ergonomic, engineering controls lead to substitution and elimination. Elimination is the most effective way to reduce work musculoskeletal disorder risk factors in the workplace. For an existing process, major changes in equipment and procedures may be required to eliminate or substitute for a hazard. Engineering control are the most effective at reducing work musculoskeletal disorder hazards, but may also be the most difficult to implement for an established work process. Administrative controls are practices and policies that workers must follow until engineering controls become feasible. Personal protective equipment such as knee pads and anti-vibration glove and grip glove may protect workers from immediate hazards. So, implement control strategies are trials or tests of the selected solutions, making modification or revision, full-scale implementation, and follow-up on evaluating control effectiveness. So, for the next step is evaluate ergonomic program. Last and first phase of planning cycle. Identify, analyze, evaluate both labor and management. Use outside expert. One of the safety committee's primary responsibility is to evaluate accountability, establish procedures for change, measure activity results, and make effective recommendations. You can use a variety of techniques to measure the effectiveness and benefits of your academic program. You can use job analysis, checklist, symptom surveys, OSHA Form 300 logs, employee absentee rates. For the sixth element, this element number 6, to promote worker recovery through healthcare management and return to work. Work-related injuries and disability are associated with many negative health and social outcomes, including reduced quality of life, job loss, and reduced lifetime income. Other studies have shown that the chances of returning to work drop dramatically the longer the worker remains away from work. Employees, employers, and healthcare providers are all responsible for preventing injury and disability in the workplace. How to promote musculoskeletal health in the workplace? For employers, it is their responsibilities to educate and train employees to recognize and report signs and symptoms of work musculoskeletal disorder. They are also responsible to encourage employees who report symptoms of work musculoskeletal disorder to speak to the qualified healthcare provider. For healthcare provider, it is their responsibilities to meet with employers, to learn the physical demands of job and job tasks, and become familiar with the physical capabilities and limitations of employees. For the employees, it is their responsibility to engage in safe work practice, follow workplace safety and health rules, and report signs and any symptoms of work musculoskeletal disorder. Return to Work program is introduced by SOCSO in 2007 for insured persons suffering from employment injury or claiming to be invalid. The objective of Return to Work program is to assist injured persons with injuries or disease to return to work in a safe and fast manner, to carry out social responsibility towards employers and employees, to create a positive working environment through communication and supports for employees with disabilities, and to reduce and minimize the potential of repetitive accidents at the workplace. The benefits to employers is to reduce the disability duration of injured persons with injuries or disease and enable a safe and fast return to work, to be able to retain experienced and highly skilled workers at the workplace. And benefit to the employees are to provide psychological support through counseling and consultation, to provide appropriate rehabilitative equipment including orthotic, prosthetic implants based on the prescription given by the treating doctors or specialists. There are types of physical and vocational rehabilitation under the Return to Work program is workplace therapy, pain management, health education and employee safety, counseling, job placement, and skills training. For the last step, Step 7. Maintain management commitment and employee involvement. Communicate with management. Occupational safety and health research shows that management commitment is crucial to the success of musculoskeletal health awareness training and work musculoskeletal disorder interventions. Management is responsible for encouraging worker input on real or suspected job hazards, ways to control these hazards, and how the best to implement interventions. Occupational safety and health research shows that management commitment is crucial to the success of musculoskeletal health awareness training and work musculoskeletal disorder interventions. Management is responsible for encouraging worker input on real or suspected job hazards, ways to control these hazards, and how best to implement interventions. Management should follow the objective which are make the workforce more aware of work musculoskeletal disorder risk factors and realistic expectations for ergonomic challenges. Encourage a cooperation from managers, supervisors, employers, and support staff. Advance the company image and a healthy and safe work environment. Ergonomic programs typically require input from worker and management representative, safety personnel, healthcare provider, academic specialists, and human resources. These groups conduct job analysis, identify hazards, review injury records and symptom surveys, develop and control measures, and install new equipment specially for ergonomic programs. There are 5 keys to remember. Ergonomics can help you on your job. Work musculoskeletal disorder can happen in jobs with risk factors. Risk factors can be reduced and work musculoskeletal disorder prevented. Reporting signs and symptoms early is important, and you can help your company put ergonomic changes into place. And with that, I end this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.